Okay, so welcome to this episode of our introductory webinars, which is how to have freedom from anxiety. I've done this webinar quite a few times. It's quite close to me. Only reason, because as I already mentioned, that I've been there, yeah, through anxiety for longest period with irritable bowel syndrome, severe body pains, and tightness, and then developing acidity, and many more symptoms. Yeah, when I read about it now, I can just pinpoint, like I was just reading it 2, 3 days back, and I could pinpoint that there's so many symptoms that are given in anxiety about respiratory, gastrointestinal, and mind, sleep. They were all there. But it was all treated separately. I would think, oh, this is happening today, that. But it took a long time to put it all together. Okay. And anxiety can show up as any kind of show up as it can express itself as anything, like a fast heartbeat, or sweating of hands, or some tightness or squeezing in the chest or your abdomen, or wanting to rush to pass motions, right? Sweating in your feet, and overthinking, worrying, sleeplessness. It can be anything. I've seen so many of them. The base of, I would rather say, almost all disease is undealt, unprocessed, unhealed anxiety. Like the way we talk about stress. I want to ask you one question. Is anxiety normal or abnormal? It is normal. First thing we have to get, anxiety is normal. Don't make it abnormal, first of all. It is like stress. When you have to do something, you have to appear for exam, you're stressed, you work more, you work harder, and you handle it. Right? And once the exam is over, you settled. But just in case the exam is over, but you still go around in life as if exams are there. Oh, everything is an exam. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, my child is gone out. Oh God, what is going to happen? Or, oh, I have to go and meet, I have to do this work. Oh God. Then get that is becoming abnormal. It is like the stress of business. जब भी business है, you're struggling, whatever, and then you get rid of it, and you're getting over with it, and you're back to normal, you're with your family enjoying. But if you are losing your sleep over problems which are not even big problems, then it becomes a real problem. That is anxiety, the undealt, or the disorder. Otherwise, it's a healthy condition. It's normal. We require that anxiety to have that motivation, to have that push. How many of you are getting this? Is this clear? Okay. So that is how anxiety is. There's nothing abnormal about it, unless it goes beyond a level which is overwhelming, which is troubling you, which creates symptoms. Is that clear? Now, one of the things that we got to understand, like, look at all your symptoms. Yeah, look at all your symptoms. I can just show you this PowerPoint. It will be a little more helpful. I just put it down over here. Okay, just let me show you. Now, this is me. How to have freedom from anxiety without medicines. Yeah, this is about me, a little author, homeopathic physician, trauma therapist, relationship coach, master trainer with expertise in hypnotherapy, transaction analysis, somatic therapy, mindfulness trainer of Tai Chi and Qigong, and some of the work that I've done. I also founded what is called as Core Somatic Integration, which is the base of all my work that I do. This is basically somatic work that I do. Yeah. And this is the book that I have written long time back. And this is called Giving Up Something to Receive Everything. It has everything that I speak about, generally how to go about cognitively and also experientially. And there are step-by-step processes, which is now basically it is based on mindful forgiveness. But here the understanding of forgiveness is completely different than what we generally understand or as forgiveness. Maaf kar do. It is more than that. And that is what I have put over here. Yeah. So this is a very powerful tool for self-help, self-empowerment, and self-discovery. Okay, now this is something that we got to understand. A study in 2020 has shown that 74% Indians suffer from stress. and 88% suffer from anxiety. Stress means stress is normal, anxiety is normal, but when it goes beyond a particular limit, when you can't handle it, starts showing up as a regular phenomena, or it starts showing up as symptoms, or it starts disturbing your day-to-day life, your relationship, your business, your work, your sleep, then it becomes a disorder. That is the difference. Okay. And as I was telling you, I was one of them. The question is, are you one of them? And most of them are, because 74% people suffer from it. And it's gone, it's on the rise, and went up, especially, or maybe it started becoming more and more aware, people becoming aware thanks to social media. And post-COVID, most of the people started becoming aware and started getting open to taking support. And that's why maybe we are knowing more about it. And that's a good thing, because you don't need to suffer. You don't need to live with it. Yeah. Now, as I asked you, is anxiety abnormal? So remember, it's a kind of fear, and fear is not abnormal. Yeah. Fear is a protective mechanism, and anxiety is also a protective mechanism, right? If you're anxious, then you start doing things better, or it stops you from doing something. You say, oh, I'm getting anxious, and you stop from doing something. And that is where you are. And once the work is done, you are back to normal, right? Or you don't do what you're not supposed to do, but you're going to do it, and you feel anxiety and you stop. And then you realize over later on, oh, thanks that I didn't do it. Otherwise, it could have been a problem in my life. So that is what anxiety does. Okay. Now, when it is regularly feeling disproportionate levels of anxiety leading to excessive nervousness, fear, apprehension, and worry, that is a medical disorder. Okay. So this is something that, and now whatever you are asking, all the symptoms, right? I want you to check whether you have it. Okay. Now, little of it, everyone has it. A quick checklist that you could see if your anxiety is a disorder. In regular anxiety, worrying about bills, job interviews, or important events. Normal. Butterflies in your stomach before a performance or meeting. That's normal. Fear of dangerous objects, place, or situation. Fear, normal. But once you're out of it, you don't have the fear. That's normal. Sadness or worry after a traumatic event, normal. Maintaining hygiene personally and in your surroundings, normal. Okay. Oh, someone is going to come, some guest is going to come, or what to prepare. That can give you anxiety. But the moment guests have come, you prepared everything, then you settle. Right? Breaking into a sweat before a big match, normal. Before exams, before interview, normal. Yeah. But I had people who were like, I had this person who was at a very big, good position in one of these corporates, like Siemens he was in, and at a high post. And he says, even when I am addressing my own colleagues, yeah, the subordinates, not even the colleagues, like subordinates. And he would stand in front of them, and there are only 6 of them, suppose, of his team or whatever. And he had shown me, Raju, this is what happens. Guess what? He's saying, I am sweating and my shoes are almost filled with sweat. My hands are dripping and my whole shirt becomes wet. Now, this is like a AC. These are all AC rooms. And that is abnormal. And this would keep happening. And he has been working in the same company for more than 10 years. So that is abnormality. Okay, that's an abnormality. Now, people asking, like, this is a cause or this is the symptom? This is a symptom. The sweating, the palpitation, all these are symptoms. The worrying, all these are symptoms. So what is the cause? Like, people want to know, what is the cause? Let's understand the cause. So this person was born in a family where education was okay. The parents were not so well educated, and he was put in a Marathi medium school. Okay, then he grew up over there, and generally people have this, oh, vernacular medium, English speaking, oh, they are better, I am less. You know how it is. Yeah, generally we carry this. And as he grew up later on, he was put in some college, or he took a admission in college, some MBA college. And then he comes from the same thing, that I didn't get a very good college. If I would have gone into a very good college, maybe IIM or whatever, then I would have been very, very confident. Now the question is it got to do with the college? Or is it an experience that that person carrying within, that I am lesser than others? It doesn't matter. It's not necessarily a doctor who's passed from AIMS, or a person who's gone to IIT doesn't have low self-esteem. Nothing of that sort. It's like it's a given kind of thing. Like a person carries it, but coming from the past experiences and how we are perceiving the problem, or how we are perceiving the situation. Are we together? Remember, what matters is the perception. And depending upon our perception, we have behaviors. People are trying to change behaviors. That's also a good way. But then just keep getting present to, or rather, people are not even trying to change behaviors, they're trying to change the results. That's what an OCD person does, trying to clean up and put it in order. But that's just the outcome or the end result of the whole problem. So I had this person came in, and she's got OCD, and she says, I keep washing. Then I tell my son, it's difficult when you see a person who's having OCD, you sometimes feel sorry because it goes beyond a particular limit. Do we all have OCD? Yeah, little amount, thoda thoda sab ko hota hai, normal hai. Want to keep it in order, all these things are normal. But if takes over your life, abnormal. Anything that takes over your life, your relationships, abnormal. Right? You work, and then you're taken over by work, that your house is in a mess, like people are fighting with each other, everyone's vying for your attention, and they're fighting. Abnormal. But some amount of work you got to do, you go 8 hours, this, that, and all that is normal. Okay, same way. So now this lady is like, and now when she comes in, what I'm doing is that instead of going there, like I'll tell you how somatic therapy works. Like you're asking this, how somatic therapy works. This will be a very good example. So instead of going directly into the mind and saying, okay, find what happened, where is that low self-esteem or that trauma, I directly ask them to connect to that sensation. And she said, oh, I feel so dirty. I don't even want to touch my hands together and all those things. Dirtiness, cleaning up, OCD. Okay, want to clean up. But the cleaning up is not over here only. It's always washing hands or putting things in order. It's just wanting to keep it clean. And now when she's doing that, going back into childhood, what happened? Okay, I was a small child, and I was 7 years old, and someone did something to me inappropriate. I didn't know that. I knew that there was something not right over here. But I'm a small child, so I can't say no because it's an elderly person. Okay, I'm just making up this example, but most of the examples come like this, but I'm just making it up now. So now the child is feeling dirty. There's something wrong with me. That is a decision. Remember, your decision impacts your whole life. But the decision is taken in childhood. And as I generally say, the child is not coming from sense of maturity. The child is not coming from a sense of that I am capable. The child is coming from lack of options. The child is coming from a sense of inferiority. The child is coming from a lack of handling stress. How many of you are getting this? Right? The child is coming from there. And remember, the child has not grown from there. That the child, what we call as the inner child, is nothing else but the energetic experience that gets stuck over there. And as I generally say, is that the is like it's the essence. Is like it's pure, it's clear. That is what, and it wants to go back to itself. The clarity and the purity. Is that clear? Anything that is there as a contamination, it will try to clean it up. How does it make you aware that it's unclean? You will start having symptoms. Is that clear? You'll have symptoms. But people, instead of going inside, they keep handling the symptoms only, and then they take medicines for the symptoms. And the more you suppress the symptoms, the more you're going to suffer, because it's going to push harder. That's why initially you might get just simple headache, and then later on people they keep pushing it down, then they get high blood pressure or something of that sort. But they are not dealing with the headache. They keep suppressing it. Same way you keep handling suppressing the anxiety, and you keep taking medicines. I don't say that it doesn't work, but most of the times it doesn't. It just suppresses, because it's almost like, let's imagine this. Okay, everyone imagine this. You are standing in a swimming pool. Okay, imagine this. Okay, you can close your eyes. Imagine you're standing in a swimming pool. Okay, and you have been given one ball, football, which is like full. You know how a ball, when it's full, what happens? Kadak karta hai. And now try to push it down. You can just drop a stone, it will go down. But what happens when you push down a football or any ball? It doesn't go down. The moment it goes down and you release the pressure, it will come up. Now just imagine, you have 2 or 3 balls like that. Now what will happen? And you have to push all the balls down. What will happen now? Not possible. All the time you're only juggling with the balls. And most of the people who are having anxiety, they're only juggling with things. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to complete this. And that's why they're always in a rush. And even when they sleep, it is not complete because it's going on. Now you're trying to press it harder. What happens over a period of time? You press it and keep it down. Slowly your arms will hurt. And then your body gets tight. Because you have to use the pressure. You doesn't want it to come up. And that is what happens in anxiety. Your body gets tight. You get tense because everything around you seems like threatening. Seems like a danger. Make sense? And now you have to fight the danger. You have to ward off the danger. And that is where it becomes like a fight and fright mechanism. Either you fight it out or you run away from it. And most of us are either fighting it or running away from it. Running away can be taking medicines or taking some sleeping tablets and all that. Okay. And that is how it is. And that can show up as outside, like someone in your family does something and you get reactive. And you say, this person is making me anxious. No, that person is making that person keeping something outside their house. They're doing it deliberately and I'm getting so anxious. It's so dirty. If someone sees, what happens? Or someone has moved the place of the object where you had kept the object. You get real. Oh, what if someone comes? No one is coming to your house. But you get scared as if, because right from childhood, mommy has said, keep everything in place. Or you got beaten up for that. Or you didn't get that 1 mark. How many of you are like that? You didn't get that 2 marks and you got pastings. Okay. I had someone who came in like that. Got 90%. And the mother asked her, what about those 2 marks? 2%. And she says, I lost it. I just completely lost it after that. It always made me anxious. Another lady, she came in and she came second in the class. She was in 7th. The mother said, why didn't you come first? Guess, someone who was second and was always topping, and then that year she came second. 10th standard, she failed. She just lost interest in studies. 8th standard came down, 9th standard came down, 10th standard failed. She says, I never got interested in studies after that. What do you think it was? That was a way of getting back at the mother. She couldn't do anything to the mother. She said, okay, I'll get back to what you hurt me for. Are we together? So this is how it starts working. Okay. This is how it starts working against you. But the child doesn't know that it is impacting my life. And that is what we call as a passive aggressive behavior. It works against myself. And then what we call as autoimmune disorder kind of thing. It goes against myself. Yeah, like someone asked this question earlier, autoimmune. So this is how it is. What is autoimmune? It is basically my body going against myself, against my own immunity. Now, I generally give this example, like you are carrying a weight of 10 kgs, you can do it. But if you have to carry that weight for a kilometer, what would happen? Then it becomes 100 kgs. Or just imagine, you can carry 10 kgs, 20 kgs, but you're given 100 kgs like a small child. You're just as... Now again it goes against you. You'll just collapse. Is that clear? So this is something that we got to understand, that when you are going against yourself because you are handling stress for a long time, or you're handling stress which is maybe one time or short period, but it's overwhelming, it can just bring down your ability to handle that stress. It works against your own immunity. Is that clear? And most of them, instead of increasing your capacity, they're just like trying to push the ball underwater. Is that clear? Instead of trying to, like that people who juggle the ball, like if I were to juggle, I will not be able to catch it. Maybe the second time only I'll drop it. But there are people who can go on with 6 balls all the time because they have trained themselves. Is that clear? So same way, the capacity has to be enhanced. Your ability to handle stress has to be enhanced. But many of us are just thinking that the best way is to pop in medicines. Even if you're doing it for a long time, you can still change that habit by just enhancing the capacity. And there are various ways of enhancing the capacity. Right? Like I have people who come in with some sense of lack of confidence, and so I tell them to join martial arts. The reason is not that, okay, they have to become some black belts and all. No, it is just a discipline. Like I had this guy from Guwahati. He was struggling with lack of confidence and also didn't know what to go about. He needed some amount of discipline. Okay, around him were his sisters, mother, all women, and pampering him. So he never had a chance to really work it out or fight it out. I said, I don't know what to do, like a typical soft nature. I said, join. And every day he would go, and thankfully got a good teacher. That's very important. Just joining martial art doesn't work. He had a good teacher, and he would allow him to come every day. And within a month's time, he started practicing, and then 2-3 months, and he started becoming confident. Then you have a whole group, and he started developing his capacity. Now, did I tell him, okay, deal with your anxiety? No, I put him somewhere else. Okay, and there you can pick it up. And that's how you go about. But mostly I will help them do more something that is more somatic, more body related. Because when your body knows it, your mind knows it very well. But just because you're telling your mind, the body doesn't gather. Like you are suffering, you are having anxiety or a panic attack, and someone says, relax, relax, there's nothing to worry. Do you stop worrying? You say, don't tell me that. You're not going through it. I am going through it. It's more irritating. It's more scary. Because at least you think I'm handling it. Here, you're saying, don't think about it. How many of us are together? Is this clear? Hope there's some idea you're getting about anxiety. Okay, let's go ahead. I'll just put the PowerPoint over here in place. Okay, so what is anxiety disorder? Worrying constantly and excessively for no apparent reason. Fearing any social or performance related situation. I just gave you the example of the manager of Siemens. Yeah. Fear of humiliation or embarrassment. This is huge for a lot of people. Irrational fear of an object or place, like feeling in a closed place. Now, it doesn't matter where you are, you can just feel claustrophobic. Repeated flashbacks, dreams, and worry after some trauma. OCDs, repeated panic attacks with feelings I'm going to die. Just type in which one is more in you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Yeah, humiliation. Yes, very good. So the more you acknowledge, the better it becomes. Huh? It always helps because acknowledge. Now, there are two pathways of anxiety we already spoke about in other ways, but then I'm just going to give the names. So just imagine this. Yeah, so just imagine this, that you're sitting in the car. Yeah, you're traveling. Yeah, the lady is traveling and she's sitting there. And she's gone many, many kilometers away from her place. They're going out for a nice trip. And suddenly the thought crosses, did I put off the gas stove? Now what happens to her? And there is like, oh God. And then she keeps asking the person next to her, did I put it? I don't know because I was not there. I came down. I was starting the car. I don't know. Hey, but then what do we do? Because chalu ho gaya and we are going out for 3 days. Oh, and then what happens? She keeps talking about it, worrying about did I? And then they might be sweating. Are you getting it? Now this is because of thinking. Okay. And then the other one is like you're driving the car and you're listening to music and all. And suddenly from some corner, you see someone jump in front of the car. Jump means walking, like what you see in Bombay. Suddenly someone crosses, some bike, some. What happens? You suddenly apply brakes. And what happens? बच गया. वो बच गया नहीं मैं बच गया ऐसा. Because if I hit that person, then another problem. So this is what it is. Now the person is palpitating. There's palpitation, the breath goes fast, the body gets tense, and you might start screaming, yelling, abusing, jo bhi ho sakta. Is that clear? Now there are two types of anxiety over here. The first is because of thinking. The second is it just takes over your body. Is that clear? So the first one is you have a thinking brain. I'll show you. And yeah, this makes it much more easier. Okay, I'll just show you. So this is what it is. So the first is the gas stove. This is called cortical anxiety because of the thinking brain. Okay. Now you think, and you develop anxiety because the thinking can impact your body. The perceptions. Okay. The second is sudden application of brakes, and this is amygdala-based anxiety. Yeah, because there is a part of your brain that's called amygdala hijack. So something happens, even a thought, it can be a thought. It can be a sound. It can be smell. Okay, so instead of, you can see the amygdala over here, the red one in between in the midbrain. So there is some thought, there is some feeling, there is some emotion, there is some picture that we watch or some incident like this, the thing about to meet with an accident, anything. It just goes into the amygdala. The amygdala sees it as threat. That is the job. It picks up threats. Now, if it sees it as a threat, okay, let's see. If it doesn't see it as a threat, it goes inside and it goes to the neocortex, that is the thinking brain. and the thinking brain decides there's nothing wrong, okay, then there is no problem. You are normal. But what happens if it sees as a threat, instead of going into the neocortex, the thinking brain, it directly goes into the reptilian brain. And the reptilian brain's job is to only help you survive. How? By fight, by flight, and by freeze. And if it goes to the reptilian brain, there's no thinking brain involved, then you start reacting as if it's danger, though it might not be. And that is called the amygdala hijack. So there are two things. One is the cortical and the amygdala. So that is what it is. And generally what happens is that we are struggling with both. If you keep thinking, the amygdala believes that this is what it is, then the reptilian brain, and you go into a panic, or it is directly going to the amygdala, sees it as threat and goes into the reptilian brain, and again it's a panic. That's a hijack. So what we got to do is that, though it goes here, we got to develop an ability to connect to our thinking. And that is what many people are not developing. They take medicines and then it goes here till the time your medicines are there. It just suppresses or just calms you down, but it never heals. Sometimes it heals because it keeps seeing that everything is fine, and then you develop a new ability, and that's fine. But most of them don't, because you don't come for a regular, simple anxiety problem. You generally come in when it's already a disorder. Okay, it's already troubling you. So it's always important to help people learn. What I generally say is that we are not trained. It's not that we have a problem because there's a problem, but it's only that our minds and our bodies are not trained. Right? The bodies are not trained. Okay. And why some medicines or some counseling methods don't work? Yeah. The reason is that these counseling methods and this medicines, of course, they are working at a different level. They're just suppressing it. They're not helping you connect. Okay, they give you medicines, you go off to sleep, but you never dealt with that past experiences, which is the real trigger for the problem. Like in childhood, someone teased you, someone beat you up, there was a threat, or like this child who got 90 marks and the mother is asking 92, or they have to fulfill on the expectations of the parents, or the person got abused. You have not worked on it. You just suppress the symptom. Now, as I said, this energy of that experience is pushing outwards with medicines or certain ways of even meditations for that matter. You're just trying to push it down. Now it's like the football trying to come out of water. How much so you push it, the football will push it out. And if you keep pushing it down, you'll develop pain and everything. Are you getting me? And that can be the body pains, the fibromyalgia or whatever. So all you got to do is go back to the emotions and that experience and heal that. If you are able to do that, the body will start giving up that habit. It's retraining your nervous system. Because why these medicines and counseling methods don't work? Because these are all subconscious. But what you're doing is you're trying to work it at a conscious level. When I'm saying counseling, I'm talking about the cognitive methods. And I'm not saying that none of them work. But if it's coming from a deep trauma, then थोड़ा tough हो जाता है. Okay, though you have to use cognitive methods along with the deep subconscious therapists. I generally use a lot of counseling methods also. I tell them how to go about. So it's both the cognitive methods and the subconscious methods. Okay. So this is what it is. Anxiety is there. You try to avoid. You will have short-term relief, but over a period of time, you'll have anxiety. Don't avoid it. Like someone was asking in the beginning that how do we go about? Don't avoid it. Experience it. Okay. Don't avoid it. Experience it. And we'll just go about learning this. Okay. And remember, there's something called neuroplasticity and neuroadaptability. That means the brain is rewiring itself all the time with new experiences. So I have some 62-year-old lady who started to learn driving. Was very anxious, but she started. Someone picked up singing. Someone who was depressed picked up painting. They all started to do all this. And slowly, along with all the therapies, I'm not just saying that do this. That doesn't work like that. I've had people go out and join some sports. So for different people, different things. But take up something that you really enjoy. Right? I was speaking to someone, I don't remember. Yeah, on the phone. And I asked her today, I said, what did you enjoy from childhood, since childhood? And she said, I enjoyed dancing. I said, take it up. Take that up. Because whatever you really enjoyed, you're not able to do as you grow up. I said, generally take that up. She said, I'm going to do that. Because that is the only thing I enjoy. Yeah, that lady is an occupational therapist. I just spoke to her in the afternoon. And she says, I enjoyed dancing, but now there's not much to do because everyone has grown up, everyone is going out. I said, pick up what you really like. And not that the dancing is like some Bharatnatyam and all that. She said, I want to do that Bollywood style, just freestyle. Mere ko acha lagta hai. I said, take it up. And that's exactly what she requires. Because all these things are there inside. They are coming up all the time. And they're pointing towards something. That's your job, to pay attention to it. Okay, neuroadaptability and neuroplasticity. So it doesn't matter what age you are. Many of them say, oh, I've aged now, there's not much to change. No, this is the time to begin. You've done everything for everyone else. Now it's time to begin. The thoughts impact your emotions impact your energy impacts your behavior, and back again. So that is what we are changing. Okay, so this is what it is. Any questions before we go into small exercises? How many of you want to learn some ways of dealing with it? I'll share. Okay, but before that, any questions? We have some time, and then I'll show you.
We spoke about the two kinds of. One is the stove, जो थोड़ा करके बढ़ता है, right? You're thinking about it, and the anxiety comes slowly, and some of it is sudden, catches you unawares.
Unawares, yeah.
And at that time, it's even difficult to locate it as anxiety. It looks like it is real, right?
Yeah.
How do you break that at that time?
That is what we're going to learn now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I'll just give you the theory part. It's basically you have to focus on what's happening. Don't drive your attention away from the problem. I was talking to someone and I told her the solution to a problem lies in the problem itself, not outside the problem. Be it any problem. The solution to a problem lies in the problem itself. Like in somatic therapy, we say the way out is through. The way to go out of your house is the same door through which you came. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So the way out is through. So always pay attention. And the symptoms are not there to punish you. Remember this. The symptoms are there to say there's something that has not been worked upon. Your business problem is not saying that you are incapable. It's saying deal with the business problem. You'll get your benefits. The profits are coming after that. Oh, there's this client who's not giving me the order. All you got to learn is maybe give quality products and have communication skills. Maybe it's trying to do because you're not able to communicate. People are not giving me money. Oh God, my business is in a loss. Maybe it's trying to teach you that it's time to ask for money or stop taking to those orders, taking on your head. That's why many people are losing on their businesses. It's not because business is bad. Just because you cannot say no or you cannot ask. And then that gives anxiety. And then you sleep at night and you don't get sleep. How many of you this is making sense? Simple, eh? So you don't have to struggle with the anxiety. Anxiety is a symptom. आई getting me? घर में लीक हो रहा है, लीक के पीछे जाओ, पेंट मारने को मत जाओ बार बार, खर्चा होगा ज्यादा. Is that clear? Okay, any other
A
questions?
question which is that is there something that you can do constantly through the day that can keep you always at that,
Paying
speed?
attention to your breath. Your breath speaks to you all the time. Like today only, I was working with one girl of 26. She came in and I was just telling her, she said, "What do I do?" I said, "Come back to your breath again and again." Your breath talks to you all the time. It tells you exactly what is the state of the mind. So instead of trying to go after the thought, okay, what is my thought? Let me change the thought. That's a good thing. Journaling is a great thing. But all you got to do is just pay attention. Are we ready to do that? Okay, let's do it. One small exercise. Before that, I will just give you one more exercise. Feel your feet on the ground if you are able to. If you are not on the ground, doesn't matter. Just feel wherever you are sitting, the chair or the clothes on the body. Just observe. Pay attention to the feet on the ground. And what do you do at that time? Just observe the sensations of your feet on the ground. And as you feel the feet on the ground, also pay attention to your hands now, the palms. And as you're doing that, pay attention to your breath now. You're just observing, you're not trying to change your breath. You may have thoughts. Do not fight with those thoughts. Don't try to distract yourself from, don't try to go up, fix the thoughts or change the thoughts. Observe the thoughts for what they are, but just come back to your breath and your feet on the ground. Do not analyze. You may have thoughts, let them come, let them go, and you come back to your breath and your feet on the ground, your hands. Breathe in deep and breathe out. Breathe in deep and breathe out. Become aware of your whole body. Become aware of the environment around you. Stretch yourself. Move yourself. Stretch yourself. Move yourself. Move your hands and feet. And then open your eyes. Tell me, who would like to share? How did you feel? So this is one simple exercise. Okay, who would like to share? Open your mic, share. Did you get it, Ajay?
The sensations I didn't realize I had in my body became even more focused actually.
I didn't get you. I didn't hear you properly.
And as I focused on my breathing, sensations within my body which I was not even aware were there
Okay.
came out much stronger. Not
Yeah.
in a scary way, but it's almost like, okay, that's there.
Yes. So that is what we do in somatic therapy also. Once this comes up, we start observing that, and then that takes us to emotions, feelings, memories, experiences, and then we deal with that. And there are certain techniques or methods how to handle that. That's what we do. Okay? Yeah. Anyone else wants to share? How did you feel? Yes, Rajeshri?
Yeah, basically it was peaceful, and then
It
I
was?
could, it was peaceful.
Yeah.
The mind was much calmer and focused and peaceful. So
Ah,
I could also feel the sensation here is a pricking sensation that which in a lighter mode I have. So I often tend to close my eyes because of some pricking feeling here. But it makes it, I could understand that it makes me focused and observe my body better when I'm focusing on my breath.
exactly.
Matlab, yeah. So that is there. But
Okay.
in this whole episode, I got a question here. Now, these body symptoms are also part of anxiety, and then stomach gut issues is also part of anxiety, and then the mind, it's all because of the mind and memory and past experience and all that. So we have different angles to the same issue. There is that some issue. We don't know what is that issue. Is it a multiple issue or it is a one issue? Whatever it is, it's all about emotion or past experience. That's what it is. And to deal with it, either we take through hypnotherapy or somatic therapy, or even the gut, heal the gut. Because people also say, because a lot of serotonin hormones, everything is like happening from gut, then you heal the gut, it is actually healing your brain. 90% of your issues are from gut, so you heal the gut, heal the brain. So now, as a person dealing with, like, now what is the first, what is, is it that we have to handle all the three, or what is the best method uh, we take care that this problem will be solved, or is there any sequence of, I mean, I'm not like, I'm getting literally not able to understand, like,
Okay.
which one, how do we solve the issue?
Yeah, first of all, I would recommend, instead of trying to think that which one you should solve, you should better meet a therapist. Like if you have problems, you go to a doctor, you don't try to figure out whether this or that. The doctor is trained to know what to do. Same way, when you go to a therapist, the therapist will figure out which one to handle first. Yeah. So when you start doing it, they will take you through whatever therapies, and that's up to them. I tell people, don't worry about the therapy, what they use, because that person is trained, qualified, the person knows it. Let them take their own time and let them figure out what is to be done. And that should be, you surrender to the therapies. That would be very helpful. Yeah. And these are all working towards the same problem. Now, to answer your question, I'll give you an analogy. There's this building which has got a lot of cracks. Are you getting me? And it's about to crumble down. Now, you don't work on the building only. You also work on the foundation. If the foundation is not weak, it doesn't matter how beautiful the building is. It will crack and it will break down. So the whole idea is to work on the foundation. And the foundation for all this is the memories and the experiences, not the memories, the experience that you have. And that's very personal. That's very unique to each one. We have to work upon those memories and experiences. And once you, and in that, when I'm saying experiences, I'm talking about the belief systems that you develop, the decisions that you develop, and generally it comes from your childhood. So you got to go back there, look at the dynamics of your family and all the way you perceive people in the current situation also, or if there is a pain or there is a traumatic experience in the current situation, you got to go back there and heal it. Is that clear? Like just to help you to understand this, I'll just give you an example. Yeah, Nita, I'm coming to you. I'll just give you an example. There was this girl who was around 17 or 18 years old. And when she came to me, she couldn't talk properly. She was sent to me by a doctor, and this person was struggling. When she started talking, she would go, and she would cry. And the mother said, this is a problem. She's struggling with wanting to talk. And when did this start? She says it started at the age of 14 or something, when she was abused by one of her own family members. Okay. And after that, she's choking because she's so upset, she's so sad, she's so angry, and she can't do anything. So now, instead of trying to change this and saying relax and all that, went to the point where it started, cleared up all that mess that was there in that situation. The second time she comes in, she's slightly better, but the third time she started smiling, which she said that she was about to leave us college and not study and all that. She said, I'm going to take up my studies again. She joined for some, whatever you have, entrances and all those things. And by the fourth or fifth session, she was smiling and it was much better. And her confidence went up. She couldn't go to that house where that person was there. Yeah. She just couldn't go there. But she's saying, I don't feel that much. I go there. I may not talk to the person, but I'm relating to other people in my family with ease, which was not happening. Now I'm becoming more social. I'm becoming more confident. So it starts changing. But we had to work on the root cause, the real problem. And then there were other instances also where she started feeling anxious in college, school. So we released that also. So not only the core factor, but other things also, and much better. Now she came to me a year back, maybe a year back, 4-5 times. And then I think I have not seen her for last 4-5 months minimum. So that is how it is. So this is how it is. So instead of thinking about how to go about and all that, and she was already with the doctors for last 2-3 years, this medicine, that medicine. And here it is like this. We go to the core and remove the issue from the core. So that is what I'm trying to say, that we have to go there. Instead of thinking which one what, you will never get the answer, because as Ajay was saying, it's so difficult to connect with when I'm doing it on my own. There are some people who have told me, doctor, when you do it, it's easier. But when we are doing it on our own, it's not easy. It's very simple. For me also, there is an issue like that, because my mind can get distracted. Yeah, that is why that support. One thing is that the person helps you understand where to go. Secondly, the person shows you the direction and guides you in that direction. That's why a therapist or a doctor or whoever is helping you is required. Like a coach for any sport. You can do it on your own, but if there's no one to tell you, okay, get up in the morning. But if the coach is there, it doesn't matter. Whatever, you get up and you go. Because you're answerable to the coach. And it's just that you're accountable. You become accountable. That's why I'm suggesting. Okay, does that make sense? Great. Nita?
Yeah, I wanted to share my experience, which I
Please.
had just now during the exercise. And thank you so much, doctor. Whatever you're saying right now, the coach is always there to help you, guide you. Since morning, I had a thought in my mind, and I was having dilemmas how to handle it and approach it. So while doing the exercise, which we were doing to concentrate on the feet, I felt really heavy on my feet. I could feel that I'm connecting to the Mother Earth. And while during the breathing thing, I got the clarity on my thought that how to handle and deal with it. So that is what I felt.
Yes, very good. And see, the answer is there. Thank you, Anita, for that. The answer is available inside you. The answer is not outside you. Never think the answer is outside you. Even when they're biggest businesses, biggest business problems, you go and do it, but the answer comes inside you. Oh, let me use this idea. People think हमने बाहर कुछ काम किया है. नहीं, तुमने काम अंदर ही किया है. तुमने उसको अप्लाई बाहर किया है. Always remember, the work is inside. It doesn't matter. People come with major things. They come with pains. They come with various struggles in businesses. They come with OCDs. They come with addictions. It doesn't matter. My simple thing is, let's go inside. And the first thing I teach them is that how do you feel the body? Because the mind can have hundreds and thousands of thoughts. How many and how you go crazy, and that can lead you to anxiety. And that is what many a times a lot of people are doing. That pay attention. That's one of the ways. That's why I ask people to journal. But the easiest is connect to that body sensation and start working, and then journal it down. Then you know how your mind is working. But the mind is like a multiplier of thoughts. It's a manufacturer. So you go after the thought, it goes this, and then it goes here, then it goes there. And then by the time the time is getting over, you're lost. And it already created the pain or the anxiety. So the best thing is have it, write it down. Noting down is very important. So whenever clients come to me, I ask them to journal. When I'm teaching them, training them in I do various programs, I tell them to journal. Yeah, Nita, got it. Great. Anyone else who wants to share? So everyone got that exercise, small exercise? See, I've shown you that. Okay, now it's your job to practice it. Okay? And of course, we'll have these sessions and all that. You can always join in because I'll keep repeating this thing in everything. Now, this is just the beginning. That's why I'm teaching you. Then when you want to learn and all that, or you want to build up, then you have either go to a therapist who's doing all this work, or you can join the programs which I'm doing. So anything you can do. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions or any sharings that you want to do? We are in good time. Yes. Okay. Sure. So we'll stop over here, and I want some of you to share what did you get out of this session. Who would like to share? Sandra, what did you get out of the session?
A little more definition on what anxiety is. Like you said, I always thought it was a big problem, but you made it seem like it can be sorted.
Yeah.
That is what I got. And to look at it as something small or something.
Exactly. That's what anxiety does. Yeah, it magnifies, it amplifies things which are small.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of us have this catastrophic thinking that chota sa thing could start looking. That's like that small child, no? For the small child, that person looks very big. That's why even when we are grown up, we can't go against our parents, by the way. Because it's still that small child watching the parent. It's not you from these eyes. And the moment you grow up, you're able to treat them with even your boss and everything.
And the significant line that you said that the solution is in the problem.
Yes. And the solution is inside you. It's never outside you. Thank you. Anyone else? One more person. What did you pick up? What did you learn? Pooja, Swati.
Hello, sir. I have a question that
Please.
I feel better when someone tell me the situation, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I feel sad or anxious when someone tell me that you are not doing okay.
Yes.
Like what you did is not enough.
Yes.
So the problem is I know what is I am doing and I'm doing my best, but just because someone is telling me that it's not enough, it's getting to me. And then I am talking to some friend or colleague and they telling me that what you did was perfect. Then I am getting this boost back. But my problem is that I know that what I did was right, but I need
Yeah.
someone else to tell me.
We all need assurance. We all need reassurance that my thinking is right. It's almost like the child is like, okay, I did the job, and then it's looking at the mother or father. How did I do it? You did it very well. The child is still alive. We need that assurance. We need that
But
validation.
it happens in every situation now in
Yes.
my scenario.
The mind, the way it sees one thing, it sees everything. We sees it different. That's why the core is important, the foundation. It's not only in this situation, many situations I want assurance. Check it out.
Yeah.
I want validation. So it is just the same way. The behaviors are, the situations might be different, but the feelings and the behaviors are same. That's why don't struggle with all this, everything like this friend, that friend, husband, wife. No, go for where I am feeling it. That is the core. That's the foundation of the building. You don't go to every apartment. If the core is not working, deal with the core. The foundation. Make sense?
Yes.
Great.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Pooja, you want to know something?
Sir, I have one question. Like,
Please.
so whenever I'm speaking to one individual, so I can talk them freely. But when I'm in a crowded space, my mind gets blocked or it gets shut down, and I just go in silence or be introverted. So how can we deal with that?
How can we deal with that? I'll just ask you one question before we go ahead to talk about dealing with it. If you were to just go back in time where something of this sort happened, a memory, a lot of people, and I just went blank. What was the time? You remembered that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. How old were you?
I think 10 years.
How much time? It takes only 1 or 2 seconds to get there. Are you getting me? And we struggle with it the whole life. Now go to the 10-year-old and notice what happened, what situation. Was it family? Was it friends? Was it school? Was it teacher? What was it?
I think it was family.
Family. Yeah. You know the room also.
Yeah,
You know
sort
the
of.
situation also, sort of. That is where the whole problem lies now. That could be one of the areas we might have to go deeper also. So that is what has
Okay.
to be treated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm telling you, keep, use a therapist. Go to a therapist. Otherwise, we are only struggling with it. And see how quickly it goes, like into the memories and all that. She gives one issue which she is struggling with now, but all you got to do is go back there. But over there also, we have to work upon emotions, feelings, beliefs, decisions, ideas, and everything, the memories and all that. How the body responds to it. Because the body is only trying to tell you, or the situation or the problem that is there, that in crowded places I feel like this, it's only trying to tell you there's something that has not been dealt with, that has been left unprocessed. And let me tell you, that's your best survival strategy. Don't beat up yourself for that. You're not wrong. I want each one of you to get it when I'm saying this. I want each one of you to open your minds right now. Are you ready? You are not at fault. It is just a default mechanism. It's a survival strategy. When I got this, let me tell you, it's like, even now I feel so overwhelmed when I talk about it. It's like my eyes can tear up right now because I just realized I was not at fault. I want each one of you to take this home, sleep with it, walk with it, play with it. If I can give anything bigger than this, I don't know. But this one thing I've given, and I've given it to certain people, and they've broken down. And they say, it just feels so nice that I wasn't at fault. I was just a small child. I didn't know. But you didn't know, that's great. But you're still carrying it, that's a problem. Are we together? So how many of you are willing to stay with this mantra that this is my best survival strategy? And I'm willing to learn a new one. Not a survival, being at ease. And it's not my fault. my nervous system works like this. मैं क्या करूं? Does that help, Pooja? Pooja, you got the
Yes,
whole
sir.
therapy by the way, huh? Just now.
Yeah, yeah. It was really
Okay.
helpful.
Great. Chalo. Anyone else? Yes, Ashish.
Just 1 second, Doc. Wait. I think I've joined your anxiety workshop after a long time. I think difference note हुआ, a pretty good difference that the first time when I joined it, I thought कि कुछ मेरे को anxiety तो है ही नहीं. You remember I told you? मतलब मेरा स्कोर तो नेगेटिव में था. मैं बोला ये सब लोग गरीब हैं, इनके इतने हाई स्कोर कैसे हैं? मेरे को तो एंजाइटी है ही नहीं. My score was coming like 2 of 10. And when I sat through that night, I realized like I'm not at 2 of 10. I'm like at 2000 of 10. But for me to digest the fact that I had it. So when you played out all the symptoms clearly, कि भाई ये होता है. So because anxiety as a word is very common, but to actually feel it was a different game altogether.
Yes.
So उस टाइम का जो हाल था ना, जो that condition and today, so there is a massive ज़मीन and आसमान वाला फर्क है that you know of because I've
Yes.
been with you. But there was nothing like it. So I just wanted to say when I was feeling it today, this was much easier. आज पता नहीं बहुत साल बाद किया. I think 2 years later on that I've done this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I brought it up late. मतलब, I was doing other things. Great. Thanks, Ashish. So I was just thinking when I was doing this work, and since I have been through it, I know how terrible it is and how it impacts life and health and relationship. So I'm also thinking at some point, maybe very soon, I'll be having workshops on anxiety, maybe a 4-session, 5-session workshop where we'll go through the drill, understand it, and work on healing it. So if you're interested, you have relatives and you have contacts who are interested, maybe we can join as a group online, and then that will be done. If you're interested, let me know. Yeah, that will be a paid thing, but we'll do that. Okay. We'll figure out something because I have done that earlier, much like a lot of this anxiety workshop, freedom from anxiety. So what we can do that again? That would be helpful. Okay. Anyone else? Shall we call it a day? Okay. So see you all. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
See you again in some other webinar very soon, maybe mostly next Monday.